Bird flu in cows. Virologist warns this could go pandemic. In case you missed it, bird flu was discovered in a small number of dairy cows in the USA earlier this year. Since the initial discovery, we've learned that the virus is spreading from herd to herd and that its DNA, non-viable DNA, can be found in a surprisingly high proportion of commercially purchased milk products. New information has become available, and this has been accompanied by new commentary from virologists and epidemiologists. Oh, and just a quick correction before we go on. It is not DNA that they are finding in the milk, it is RNA. So, new information. The H5N1 outbreak in dairy cows shows no signs of slowing down and has now begun to spread to poultry as well as to people who work with cows. Some experts believe the virus will become endemic in dairy herds. The commentary has gone from "this is a blip" to "this could be the new normal." Investigators are struggling to get reliable data on the prevalence of the virus in herds and bulk milk because farmers are unwilling to cooperate with USDA officials. Cooperation is not compulsory. Instead, farms are being offered incentives to assist with investigations. There is still no compulsory or regulated biosecurity measures in place. The virus appears to be spreading from farm to farm through the movement of contaminated milking machines, vehicles, and farm workers. However, as I reported in July, there are no new biosecurity rules in place to prevent the spread. Instead, farmers are being encouraged to comply with infection control processes on a voluntary basis. The longer the virus stays in cows, the more likely it is to develop the ability to easily infect other mammals, increasing the chances of a mutation that allows it to spread from human to human. The USDA says their current response protocols are adequate for controlling the outbreak in cows, while infectious diseases experts disagree. We're still totally in a state of confusion, says Michael Osterholm, an infectious diseases expert at the University of Minnesota. Another says they, or federal officials, have had every possible warning that this is a virus that could go pandemic. And that quote was from Dr. Tom Peacock, a virologist at the Pirbright Institute in Britain, via the New York Times. Among the 50 mainland states of the US, only Colorado has brought in rules to require the bulk testing of milk. Other states only require the testing of cows that are visibly ill or no testing at all. There is a federal voluntary testing program for farms. It has a participation rate of just 0.13% of farms, despite financial incentives being offered for biosecurity system setups. The number of infected herds is likely to be far higher than official figures, which currently stand at 191 herds in 13 states. We now know more about the source. The genetic profile of the virus points to a single spillover from the birds into cattle, with the virus then spreading through cattle due to the movement of cows, equipment, vehicles, and farm workers. Greater risks to poultry. Colorado poultry farms were affected by a significant bird flu outbreak in recent months, with 1.8 million birds culled. The bird flu in the outbreak appears to have come from dairy cattle. 9 poultry workers also became infected during the culling process. If this continues at this level, the dairy industry is going to sink the poultry industry, says Dr. Peacock. More food testing results. The results of a second survey of retail dairy foods, including liquid milk, cheese, butter, cream, and ice cream, have been reported. In the survey, 167 samples from across the country were tested, and 17% were found to contain the RNA of the virus. The virus was not infective in any sample. Aged cheese made from unpasteurized milk was included, with none of the 23 samples containing the virus. This was the only product type made from unpasteurized milk included in the testing. Raw liquid milk products were not tested. And as always, you will find links to my sources in the email and the post.